Welcome into the Drive at 5. We thank you for joining us here on this beautiful Thursday afternoon commute home. First summer Thursday of the year. That's got to feel real good. That's got to feel real good. I'm Jack Webb. We've got the jack of all trades, the most versatile man in Bangor sports media, Mark Paulette, with me as always. First off, the Drive is brought to you by Heroes Sports Grill and Entertainment Center. Heroes is the official sports grill of the Drive and the place to be in downtown Bangor, and at heroesportsgrill.com. Also, Acadia Federal Credit Union's newest location is now open on Wilson Street in Brewer, serving Maine since 1963 with branches in Bangor, Brewer, and Aroostook County. Learn more at acadiafcu.org. And Mark, on this beautiful commute home for these people, we've got a lot of topics for them. We've got Mike Reiss of ESPN coming up as well to talk everything Patriots, everything happening at Gillette Stadium as they prepare for training camp that's going to be here before you know it, Mark.
I cannot wait. I wish I could just close my eyes, wake up tomorrow, and have training camp here. Now, of course, the Boston Red Sox probably factoring to that a little more than I'd hoped at this point in the summer, but yeah, very kind of Mike to take a time out of what is his summer vacation. Like these are the 4 or 5 weeks that anybody involved in the NFL, you turn off the phone and you get away.
But you know why people have so much love and respect for Mike? Because he's a sicko just like the rest of us. It never shuts off. It never shuts off for Mike Reiss.
What was it, like a month, 2 months ago that you and I just get a random text in a group chat from Mike Reiss, and it's just a picture of a new Ben & Jerry's ice cream. He's like, you guys tried this yet?
He is the man, and we will certainly get to Ben & Jerry's for him. And here's where I hope you're embracing World Cup soccer, because as the Red Sox struggle, and as hard as they are to watch, and as tough as it is to have that be your main course in the summer, right, especially with the Celtics and Bruins ending early, as Boston's been so spoiled and accustomed to those guys playing, at least through May, right? You got the World Cup, and I hope you've embraced it. And I'm not necessarily talking to you, Mark. I know we got it on right now in the studio. I'm talking to our listeners. I really hope you've given it a chance, because it is kind of the high and the time-consuming sport that we are so blessed with, especially here on U.S. soil, while the Red Sox have been struggling. And this, honestly, gets you to what? I think July 19th, the final is. It gets you almost.
It gets you to football season.
It gets you to football season. I hope you're embracing it and enjoying it. And if you haven't yet, it's not too late, because we're still in the group stage.
Well, and here's my plea, to the neutral sport fan looking for something to do over the next month. It's only going to get better from here, because it goes into the knockout round and the March Madness style portion of the competition, but also just the schedule of this. It's happening in America. So here on the East Coast, the times are pretty prime for us. It's like 4, 7, 10. It's a 90-minute game. It's in, it's out. It's very palatable for a sport fan.
It seriously is, and I was extremely blessed to go to a World Cup game last Friday, which we'll talk about later on here in the Drive for 5. But now a message from our Next Home Experience. Next Home is the market leader. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience. Also, Uno Pizzeria and Grill, where they have late-night deals every night in the bar or lounge. 9 p.m. to close. Enjoy $6 apps, $5 cheeseburgers. I like the sound of that, Mark. Or $5 Indy cheese or pepperoni deep dish pizzas at 725 Stillwater Ave in Bangor. We got to take a quick break, but when we come back, we will have ESPN's Mike Reiss, where we're going to ask everything Patriots and ice cream. Welcome back into the Drive at 5, which is presented by Northeast Driving School. They've been a leader in driver training for 57 years. Register today for driver's ed courses at Greater Bangor's #1 driving school. Call 942-1769 or register at northeastdrivingschool.com. Also, Novus Auto Glass. Call Novus Auto Glass today at 945-6688 to get your windshield repaired or replaced. We now go to the Heroes Hotline to check in with a friend. He's ESPN's senior reporter for the New England Patriots and an ice cream connoisseur, Mike Reiss. Mike, thank you so much for joining us today. My first question, what does the limited summer of Mike Reiss look like?
Great to be with both of you today. I always love coming on with you. We're not there yet in terms of getting that summer break. We're slowly inching up on it, but the first couple weeks of July, we're going to try to get away. And in fact, one of them is one stretch is going to be up your way, up in Maine. So I'm super excited about it.
I mean, that is music to our ears, Mike. We're glad you're enjoying this beautiful state. Now, will you tell us and fill our listeners in on what exactly what stage, what phase are the New England Patriots in right now as a team?
So this phase is like an in-between. So they went through the spring the off-season program, 8 weeks where, in the words of linebacker Christian Ellis, who I spoke with on Tuesday at a community event, they built a platform on which they can grow tall from. Sort of like a foundation was the way he described it. They learn how to communicate. They learn the newcomers. And then they take a break now. And now they don't stop working when they're on their own. They got to stay in shape. But they come back for training camp July 24th. The first practice is July 25th. And then it's really go time.
Yeah, just about a month away on the calendar. I'm curious, coming off the busier portion here as we went through OTAs and everything before this break and it goes quiet, what was the energy like around the facilities, around the building? It's certainly been a bit of a turbulent offseason for the Patriots. What was it like with everyone back on the scene?
Great question. And the first thought that came to my mind was the last 2 weeks were energy off the charts. And why was that? A.J. Brown. I really thought he changed the dynamic of the offseason. The more I thought about it, that was like a surge of energy. Like just, I felt it, and I'm not even on the field. I'm on the sideline. I felt like, if that continues throughout the year and into future years, that to me is sort of, I guess, long-winded answer. I think it just changed everything to me, and that's risky when you pin it on one player like that. But I just felt the change when he came aboard.
That seems like a superstar factor, right, Mike? And I think it couldn't have come at a better time for this Patriots organization and the vibes around the building. Now, as for the guy throwing him the football, we're talking about a guy who was runner-up for MVP, led the league in QBR, completion percentage, in a bunch of different statistics, right? And he was who people thought he could be coming out for the draft, if not more. He adds a little muscle. He adds quite the weapon, like you just talked about, in A.J. Brown, who is not only changing things on the field, but the energy off the field, in the locker room, vibes around the team. What can we expect? What can Patriots fans expect from Drake May this year, from what you've seen in this past 8-week training block?
So one of the things that they're really excited about is just his second year in Josh McDaniels' offensive system. And Jack, put you right out on the field. So we're watching, and he runs a play, and then he hurries up to the line of scrimmage after that play to get a second play. And what we learned is the coaches didn't give him a second play. They wanted him to sort of see it and react based on what he saw after he got up there for the second play. And it was a coaching technique that they're using to try to, in their own words, weaponize Drake May's mind, his smarts. And so I think that's the story with Drake. It's the idea that building off of his first year in a very good offensive system that is quarterback friendly, that maybe he can take his play, which, as you mentioned, was at a MVP runner-up level, to an even higher level. And if that happens, this team, the sky's the limit, right, for the Patriots.
Mike, you've watched a couple quarterbacks fail in New England. You've watched the greatest of all time do his thing. Is that mental side of the game really where the difference is in terms of having command of the offense, completely being in tune and in sync with the offensive coordinator, and being able to be that field general that seems to be so necessary? Is that the real separator here from success in this league to being either not good enough or mediocre?
Yeah, it's definitely one of the factors. I think it's hard for me to pin it on like just one thing, because And I'm going to go back to like Mac Jones. Like I think Mac maybe mentally wasn't at the same level as Drake. Certainly no one's at the same level as Tom Brady. But I felt like the factors around Mac sort of like didn't help him. And when I say that, I mean he had Josh McDaniels as his coordinator as a rookie. Then he had Matt Patricia. Then he had I think Bill O'Brien, if I remember off the top of my head. And so like 3 coordinators in 3 years. Like, that's not ideal, or whatever that setup was. And so I think if Drake had, the same thing, he might be better, but not as good as he is now, So I think it's like, I guess what I'm talking about is like the infrastructure around the quarterback, I think, is a big part of this as well.
Talking with Mike Reiss from ESPN on the Heroes Hotline. Now, Mike, such a nice, kind man to us. I would never ask him to speak ill or against a proprietary formula of the worldwide leader. But, Mike, ESPN's Football Power Index has the Patriots ranked 7th in the AFC. Do you agree?
Well, so that's well set up. You guys are great. So those formulas they can take a lot of numbers, they compute them, strength of schedule, I actually don't quite understand it. And so I don't want to say I don't understand it. I don't view it that way. Like, I don't go through the total analytic lens. I try to take a little bit of that, but then combine it with maybe my own feel. And so I would say I love what they do. I love those rankings because they provide a roadmap. But I would say if I was making my own rankings, I would have the Patriots better than the 7th team in the NFL. In the AFC.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. Let me ask it maybe in a more productive way. Can you put the Patriots offseason in perspective to some of the other contenders around the AFC or the NFL? How do you feel that they've stacked up with the moves that they've made, and doing so after walking off the field as one of the last 2 remaining?
So I think they've had a good offseason. I think the A.J. Brown thing, like we talked about, really moves the needle to an area that it needed to be moved to. Because I was sort of questioning myself the Stephon Diggs for Romeo Doubs exchange, 1-for-1. But when you combine it with A.J. Brown, I can see what they're thinking there. I think offensive line to me is where it will probably always come back to. And as long as Will Campbell gets back to the pre-injury form, Jared Wilson can transition over to center, Elijah Vera-Tucker stay healthy at left guard, and they can get a reasonable duplication of what they got last year on the right side with Micah Wenu and Morgan Moses. To me, that's the key. And I think if that comes together, I do think it was a good offseason and they're a contender again.
Well, Mike, that was a perfect tee up for my question, because I can't get on with you without talking trench play, right? Trench warfare. And I want to talk about Will Campbell. And you and I have had extensive conversations in the past, as I was a lineman who played with shorter arms and kind of everything it takes with your feet, right? And I think people didn't quite give Will enough credit and enough consideration to that knee injury. When I watched the tape, I thought he was extremely limited with that knee injury in the postseason, but they go and they draft Caleb Lomu to be that swing tackle and honestly just add to that O-line depth that they need to protect Drake May. Can you kind of bring us in to that offensive line? Can you bring us into the Hogs and what they've been doing these past 8 weeks and kind of the vibes around that? I know early on in rookie minicamp there was some noise made because Lomu was taking left tackle reps. Can you kind of just give us some insight on the current situation and temperature of the offensive line?
Definitely. Well, Jack, this is why we need you around, first of all, and on the airwaves, because, no one talks offensive line with the same passion as you, but it's important. It's the foundation, right, of so many teams. And so the spring is hard on this, and I'd be curious your opinion on this. They're not in full pads. So I view it as a reporter watching the Patriots, hard to really fully assess offensive line play, defensive line play. It's really a passing camp. And they're working on things, Jack, that honestly, like if you were down there with me, you would pick up on things, hand placement, footwork, that's a little bit out of my box because I've never really done it myself. I don't have the same level of expertise as you. So what I'll say is, like, the same 5 guys are up there. Caleb Lomu's rotating in. Ben Brown's the top interior backup. The top 7 offensive linemen look solidified to me. The questions would be, do they have enough depth behind them? And we could probably ask that question about most teams in the league.
And that honesty, Mike, is why we love and appreciate you. You are the best.
Now, Mike,
appreciate you guys. Yeah.
One other thing we would be remiss of doing if we didn't do it while you're on with us is talk a little Ben and Jerry's, because we mentioned that a couple of months ago it seemed like just a random message popped up in our phones. Lo and behold, it's Mike Reiss showing off a new flavor of Ben and Jerry. So can we get the scouting report on that one? And then I've got some more to pick your brain with.
Yeah, I have a problem, guys, and I the problem is that when I buy it, I can't stop eating it. And so this discipline is not Patriot level like this. So I literally can't go down the aisle anymore at the supermarket. Like, I'm going to give you an example. I was going down the aisle the other day and it was $3.99 and I'm like, that's a great price for a Ben and Jerry's pint. And I'm like reaching in and I'm like trying to pull my arm out. Like, don't take it. You're going to eat the whole thing in one sitting. So I don't know. Do you have any suggestions on how I can address this issue?
Well, I mean, at $3.99, you can't just be buying one pint.
Giving you no choice.
Yeah, you got to double up or triple up there to get the bang for the buck.
This is the problem, though. Then I do that, and I'm rolling out to Patriots practice, and I need a nap.
So, Mike,
what do I do?
I don't think this is going to help out much with that issue, but as it is summer, as you are getting ready here to go on your little break away from the football scene, start, sit, cut. 3 Ben and Jerry summertime flavors here.
Let's go.
Chocolate peanut butter banana split, strawberry cheesecake, or gimme s'more. 3 classic summertime flavors. Start, sit, cut.
Okay. I'm going to start, sit, cut. Give me the first one. I am cutting. And what was that one again?
Cutting chocolate peanut butter split.
Yes. And so I'm going to expose myself, guys. I'm not a big chocolate guy. I know. Everyone's like, you're not a chocolate guy. How can you not be?
Mike, I'm not a chocolate guy either. That's great to hear.
What? Jack, are we disappointing you? Like, I feel like I'm letting Jack down.
Mike, you can never let me down. And hey, I might be fat, Mike. I'm not the biggest chocolate guy myself. I'll come clean with you.
Oh, okay. A strawberry cheesecake is an absolute start. It's actually in my power rankings. We were talking about 7th Patriots and the ESPN FPI rankings. Like, strawberry cheesecake is actually in the top 3 of my Ben and Jerry's power rankings.
Mainstay.
So that's a start. Where are you guys on the strawberry cheesecake?
I think strawberry cheesecake is a 9-year veteran who is dependable, and you know exactly what you're going to get every time he steps on the field.
Posting 17 games a year.
Love it. All right. And then the last one was s'mores, right?
Yep.
Okay. Start.
Great backup.
Cut.
You're sitting s'mores. That's a great backup.
Nothing wrong with that.
Sitting. Yeah, I'm sitting it. Yeah, I sit it. I'm going to sit it, and that's there for me. So I'm in the market. I see. Oh man, they're out of strawberry cheesecake. Maybe they're out of pistachio. They're out of honey graham latte or whatever that flavor I sent you was that I ate in one sitting. I'm like, I gotta go with the s'mores today because that's the only thing on the shelves. But yeah, it ends up in my basket.
And you have no hesitation to put him out on the field either. You're confident when he steps out there. And Mike, you are a start for us. We appreciate you joining us as always. We hope you enjoy your vacation. If you need anything in Maine, you better not hesitate to reach out because we got you.
We'll tell you where the best Ben and Jerry's prices are at.
They're the best. All right, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on. Always great talking Patriots football with you.
Always, Mike. Thanks so much. That was brought to you by Dean's Detailing, the leader in auto detailing for over 55 years. Renew your vehicle's appearance, protect your auto investment, look good and feel good in a clean, shiny car. Book your appointment at deansdetailing.com. Father's Day is June 21st. Be a hero with a Dean's gift card. Father's Day, I hope you were a hero because Father's Day has come and gone. Also,
Ron Burgundy, that one, didn't you?
I did. Also, Casella, good pay, good people, good life. Find your place at powerofhardwork.com. When we come back, we'll have plenty more for you, including a drive poll and Sox props. Stay with us. An epic disaster. An epic disaster is how that Red Sox loss was described. We'll get to that in a second. You know what wasn't an epic disaster, Mark?
What was that?
The 2026 Ticket Awards. The 3rd annual Ticket Awards are available on demand. 35 categories of excellence in the 2025-26 sports season. Watch it at 929theticket.com or the Ticket app or on YouTube. Also, not a disaster. Available when ordering McDelivery through Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Grubhub. 2 sausage McMuffins with egg, 2 hot cakes, 4 hash browns, and 4 small hot coffees, all for just $19.99. That is not a disaster. That is greatness right there. This bundle deal is over 40% off, and for a limited time, order at your local family-owned McDonald's on Main Street and Union Street in Bangor and Wilson Street in Bangor. Mark, the Boston Red Sox find a way to lose a series against the loathly Colorado Rockies, one of, if not thought to be, the worst teams in baseball. They blow a lead. Chapman blows a save in Game 1. They come back and win Game 2, and then yesterday, they blow a 6-3 lead and give up 5 runs in the 7th and 8th inning combined to lose that ball game and eventually lose the series in Colorado.
Yeah, a lot of talk about the lowly opponents, not so much talk about the fact that you now have the same amount of wins as them, which is the fewest amount of any team in Major League Baseball. You didn't lose a series to the worst team in baseball. You are now the worst team in baseball by losing that series. I don't understand how you can argue the counterpoint based on, like we were talking about last hour, kind of a clinical approach from the Rockies yesterday, just to come back and beat a Red Sox team to show how far they've fallen, how hopeless this season seems to be.
If you want to see what professional hitting looks like in the MLB, I want you to go back and watch that 7th and 8th inning and the highlights from that game yesterday against the Rockies. They made the Rockies look like a professional baseball team. And I'm not talking, obviously, they're all professional baseball teams. They're MLB players. I'm talking about professional hitting, clinical, putting the ball where they want it, moving base runners around the diamond. It was clinic tape from the Colorado Rockies that got them back in this game, and it wasn't clinic tape from guys like Marcelo Meyer and that defense who also did their part in allowing them back in this game. And I think that's what's so disappointing, Mark, is that you could make the argument, well, you had the lead in these games and you won that second game handedly. Are they really the worst team in baseball? Yeah, I think it does make you the worst team in baseball because you did have the leads and you managed to fumble it in embarrassing ways and look like the sloppier team out there on the diamond.
That's exactly what it is. I mean, Colorado, on the pitching side of things, it is no competition. The Red Sox are light years in front of them, but that doesn't matter for the Red Sox because when given the opportunity, you look at the stats, and when the team scores like 3 runs or more, they're 26-16. They have basically like a 102 game winning percentage when the offense can cobble together 3 runs. But offensively, that Colorado lineup looked a whole hell of a lot more potent than anything the Red Sox are bringing to the table on a nightly basis. And now with the Yankees coming to town, I mean, that's our drive poll tonight. We're asking, what are you more inclined to watch? Red Sox-Yankees, the quote-unquote greatest rivalry in sports, which is a farce to be calling it that these days. Any game at the World Cup, there's 4 in action tonight, 2 at 7, 2 at 10, or I'll just sit in silence, thanks. 37% say they're going to sit in silence when presented with those 2 options. 51% still choosing Sox-Yankees over the World Cup.
Guys, I love you, but what are we doing here, guys? We got the World Cup over watching the Yankees beat down on the Red Sox at Fenway Park.
You really want to watch Schlittler go out there and just mow down 13 dudes?
Mow down 13 dudes and just give it to the city of Boston, who was giving it to him in the fall. Schlittler's coming home. And,
Careful of that first toe.
I'm sorry for all the kids in the car. You didn't hear that.
We made it 44 minutes turning over the host chair to Jack, and as I said, it could be the end of the drive.
It's tough. That's a tough last name there. But he's coming home to Boston. He's got the friends and family coming. He's got every girl he's ever talked to in the city of Boston say, hey, come on out to Fenway Park. I'm going to put on a show.
Yeah, he is ready for this moment. He's been hearing the voices, the chatter for many months at this point. And I guess the only thing to look at now, you really wouldn't think it's possible for a team, especially the Boston Red Sox of all teams, not some mired in just decades of dysfunction organization like the Cleveland Browns or something. This is the Boston Red Sox we're talking about, who 7 years ago, were the best team on the planet, set up better than anybody in baseball. They were the Dodgers during that 2018 season, and John Henry looked at it and said, too expensive, and decided to just dismantle it after the fact. And it doesn't seem that team could fire their manager and then 2 months later turn around and fire the guy who made the decision to fire that manager. But they're so damn reactionary that if they get swept by the Yankees this weekend, I think we might be waking up to Craig Breslow's obituary Monday morning when it comes to this job.
I couldn't agree more, and especially, with the stage that it's on. It's not if this could have been last weekend for Craig Breslow.
Oh God, yeah.
With the World Cup buzzing and Scotland take over, he might have been safe. But the fact that Boston is going to want to continue the party this weekend with the Scots going, everyone's remembering, you know what? And this is the narrative I saw from the Scotland takeover. You know what? This city is pretty great. I think we need to turn it back up.
Or even the game or 2 games they were at Fenway of like, oh yeah, this is what this building is supposed to feel like. But there's just so much apathy throughout the fan base that we can't ourselves bring it out.
And you know what? Even the casual fans who might not realize they just lost the series to the Rockies, they're going to be at Fenway Park this weekend because the Yankees are coming to town. I think they're going to leave pretty disappointed there, Mark.
Yeah, you can't you can only cover up so much of what your eyes are seeing, and if you're in person this weekend at Fenway, again, 6-17 is the current record of this team against the division.
And it's just so frustrating. Now, the problem is what's always disappointing is the pitching was supposed to be the strength, right? Obviously, Garrett Crochet hasn't pitched in a while, but you're getting solid pitching out of these guys.
The rotation, the pitching they have got to this point, apart from what the bullpen has done the last couple of days, but even with that, you should be one of the 3 best teams in the American League if you could just score 4 to 4.5 runs a night.
Sonny Gray now 9-1 with a 2.95 ERA. His 9 wins are tied for second in the MLB. He said he's open for a conversation with the Red Sox about his no-trade clause. I always like to put myself in guys' shoes. You just signed with the Boston Red Sox, right? With coming off a fairly exciting year in terms of the trajectory of their young guys, of the promise, right? I think that's what we were sold on this offseason, is the promise and the pieces that we should be excited about. It definitely got turned up a notch with that World Baseball Classic. Watching Roman Anthony do his thing for Team USA, watching, Wilyer Abreu do his thing. Jaron Duran didn't play poorly, and the Red Sox, MLB-wise, were kind of the story of that, right? And then you're a guy like Sonny Gray, and you were excited.
Get me out of here.
And now you're like, you know what, I am open for a chat. So we will have more, hopefully. Actually, you know what, hopefully not, Mark. Maybe we should close the Red Sox for the day on that.
We got to come back and we got to find a prop. But after that, we can close the book.
So we're doing the exact opposite of closing the Red Sox. I lied to you. We're going to have Sox props on the other side of the break. But first, start your morning at Goslin Bakery, 334 Harlow Street in Bangor. Grab a breakfast sandwich on an English muffin or croissant, plus legendary donuts and pastries made since 1945. Or visit New Goslin's Bakery in Delhi, next to Hannaford in Brewer. Sox props when we come back. Welcome back into the Drive at 5. We got Sox props for you right now. No show yesterday, so we're going to start fresh like the Red Sox should start fresh heading into this series. Mark, what are you thinking here?
I mean, I'm looking at Schlittler with the way that he's slinging it this season. Sub-2 ERA, good record, but also the strikeout numbers. The guy is a power pitcher through and through. We saw what he did to the Red Sox in the wild card round last season. He averages 10.3 strikeouts per 9. We can get 7+ at right around minus 100. How do you feel about that?
I don't mind that whatsoever. And this isn't necessarily just a bet on him against his Red Sox lineup. It's a bet on him in all that animosity he's got towards the city of Boston, the way he's kind of got a chip on his shoulder. And like the guy or not, you almost have to respect the way he performed last year in that playoff game. And the way he just gave it back. Now, do you agree with it? Do I agree with it? No, absolutely not. Obviously, didn't love to see it as a Boston guy, but I think he's got something to prove, and he's going to have a chip on his shoulder walking into Fenway Park.
Now, here's something. I just pulled up his game log for the year. He's coming off a 13 strikeout performance against the Reds, so that makes me feel good. 2 starts against the Sox this year, though. 5 2/3 innings, only 1 earned run allowed, but he only struck out 5. First time out, 8 innings pitched. Again, only 1 earned run. Only struck out 5. So he's due, if nothing else, right? He's due to punch out 2 more Sox tonight.
If we're going by his numbers, right, and what he averages, he's due to get that number back up there for sure.
He is 2nd in baseball in earned run average. He is 6th in baseball in strikeouts. He is not bad for a guy in his full first Major League season.
So we're locking it in?
Lock it in. Cam Schlittler K's 7+ tonight.
That just feels dirty. It feels wrong.
Betting on a Yankee in Sox props.
It feels wrong. We apologize to those listeners out here who might have taken offense to that, but you got to do what you got to do this time of year.
This is what they have done to us.
That's
nothing
such a good
we
way to
have
put
to
it.
apologize for. This is what the Red Sox have done to us.
You want an apology, go email Craig Breslow or write him a letter or something of that nature. For now, that is Sox Props. When we come back, we'll have our final thoughts. But first, Dairy Queen Bangor with the new DQ Breakfast Collection. You can enjoy a Cinnamon Toast Crunch dipped cone, Fruity Pebble Shake, or Choco Frosted Donut Blizzard Treat. Whether it's breakfast time or not, visit 668 Broadway, Bangor. DQ, happy, taste good. When we come back, final thoughts. Stay with us. That feels dirty. Sorry, Sully, but that again, I was a drive guy forever.
You started here, and now you're a two-timer.
I guess I'm just forgetting my roots. That's messed up. I got to work on that. But what do we got, Mark? What's coming to your head here for a buzzer beater?
I mean, we got Red Sox-Yankees tonight, but certainly no reason to pay attention to that. Going back to what we were talking about with Mike Reiss, the ESPN FPI, which has the Patriots ranked as the 7th best team in the AFC. I just don't get it. I also saw earlier today CBS Sports say that they had the 3rd worst offseason in the NFL, which, again, I'm happy with the moves that were made, so I don't know where this negativity is coming from.
Wait. 3rd worst offseason.
CBS Sports.
After losing Diggs, Chase on. Am I missing someone big?
I don't think so. And you replace them with A.J. Brown, Romeo Doubs, and...
How about Kevin Byard
on
the defensive end? Led the NFL in interceptions. Oh,
I'm liking the moves they made.
My plea to you, please enjoy World Cup soccer. We're watching Ecuador celebrate like they just won the World Cup, beating Germany. Here's my kit tip. Appreciate chance creation. If you can learn to appreciate chance creation and the buildup of trying to break down a defense, that's all it is. Just give it a shot. Go in with an open mind. That's my plea to you.
Jack's plea to close out the show today. Come back soon. Don't go to the roast next time.